for the game. It's a rich thing.
Rage on that beat, going crazy.
Alright guys, so quick update. So you saw me taking the engine apart, starting to take it apart anyway. I caught a little snag where, I'll come back to this actually, I need some tools, which I don't have, and I've ordered. Actually should be coming today, so this is a couple of days later. So I need a puller to pull this sprocket off. because to separate this case, I need to get this. The last pieces I need to get off is this sprocket and also the generator. Now there's a special pulling tool to remove the generator. I've ordered a set of those in various sizes, so hopefully the correct size will be in there. Basically, there's a thread on the inside. Let's see if I can show you guys. But there's a thread on the inside of this part which you screw this bit to, and then you would thread or you'd screw another sort of screw that goes down the middle, which will press onto this internal bit and pull the hub out. So hopefully this comes today. If it comes today, depending on what time, I might have time to carry on with this. So get this off, then we can take the bolts off and separate this and give it a good clean up and check everything. Also seals, I've been trying to find out all the seals. I haven't taken this seal off, so I can't really measure it properly, but it seems to be the same size as a seal that I removed on the other side. I'll show you in a minute. Also, there's a seal under here and there's a seal under here. So these seals I need to measure and see if I can find sort of like a generic. It's really hard to find seal kits. I found one seal kit online, new old stock in America, which is a bit pricey and also will take a while to come. So if I can't get these sizes, which I pretty much can online because they're kind of quite generic sort of stuff for crankshafts and small motorcycles, but I'm going to replace all of the seals just to make sure, because there's a lot of oil around here, so I'm assuming this one was leaking, and you know, they will probably leaking. There's a lot of oil around. Well, I see the chain, it probably would be oily, but just want to make sure I change all these seals. So that's that. We'll come back to that soon. I did do some cleaning up. I disassembled all of this. I took every part out and then I just gave everything a clean. I just put it back together for fun and just so that I wouldn't lose all the parts, but I am going to take it off again so that I can polish, because I'm going to polish this. I've been waiting for some polishing stuff finally, which I've received. So I've got some polishing wheels and I've got some wax as well. So I plan to polish all these cases. That's one. But for now, what I've done is just given them all a good clean. This side again, I've given this a good clean as well. You guys can see. So I will be polishing this. Now these are the seals I was talking about. So there's a seal in here. And when I've checked the seals, and they are, to me, just a little bit, just not tight fitting enough. So if I show you, for example, this seal here is meant to go over this on this side, and it's just too loose to me. It should be tighter than that, I think. So when I did the measurements of the seal using one of these, I was able to find the size, and I sized it 1 millimeter tighter. So I think it should be all right. So wait for those to come in and we'll test that. And when I open the engine, I will order the other seals as well. So that's that. Another thing I done was clean this. This was caked with dirt and rust, just built up. Spent a lot of time cleaning all in between these, cleaning everything, taking this. There was a gasket stuck on here, taking it off, cleaning it. I've Scotch Brite this, cleaned all any surface rust off. This is like a cast iron, I think, or something like that. So this is quite clean now. I'm going to give it a shot of brake cleaner before I spray it. I'm going to mask this all up, mask all of this side up, because there's a gasket that goes on here as well. And I'm going to spray this all with high temperature black paint. It's that side. And also inside the bores are really good, really clean. There's no screws or scratches. It's really smooth. The piston also is good. I've checked it all. The piston as well could be original piston. This is the original size 40 mil piston. Again, I checked the measurement. It actually says 40 on here. Now from the specifications that I found, you can oversize this 3 times. I think it's a 40.2 mil, 40.4 and 40.6. So this is the 40.0, and I measured in here as well, which is also coming up at 40. So, well, 39.9 it's supposed to be, and this is 40. So, you know, really smooth. and I think that this piston is fine, so we'll be reusing this piston and painting this. Also the top as well I cleaned up as well, same thing again. You can see it's been painted. I think this has actually been painted, because when I look at all the pictures, the top half is not painted, just polished, but I'm probably just going to paint it black so the two of them will match together, basically like this. So that's the plan. So also gaskets, they're another thing that's hard to find. I found one again in America from the same people that had the old stock of a gasket kit. Again, I may just make the gaskets by purchasing gasket paper, whatever. So this one, for instance, I took off from here, and it gives me an idea of the sort of thickness of it, but I will be replacing obviously all the gaskets, the top and the bottom. So I think it's just sense for me to just get gasket paper and make them, because I need to replace these gaskets as well. For instance, gaskets on the engine that I took off, and when I separate the engine I'm going to need to replace that. So either I buy that whole gasket kit or I just make them myself, and I'm thinking that I'll be inclined to just cut them out and make them myself if I order the gasket paper. Right, so that's it. So yeah, I think next I'm going to be doing is painting these. They're nice and clean now, painting these. Also the chain, I checked the chain out, it's in really good condition. I put it in the ultrasonic clean at the moment, because there's no rust on it at all. It's all the links are moving well, so I separated it and I put it in ultrasonic clean and give it a good clean, and then probably oil it up, and hopefully we can reuse the chain as well. As far as the other engine parts, I took apart and organized a lot of them into containers. Again, I've cleaned parts, ultrasonic cleaned them, took a wire brush to a lot of these, just cleaned up so many parts so that they're nice and clean to go back into the engine. Again, there's some more parts here that I took out, I've cleaned up. I mean, most of this stuff was quite clean anyway. I've got a couple of other pieces in other containers. So yeah, let's paint this, and then hopefully I can get the rest of this engine removed in this video if these parts come, or these tools come in time today. Got some more updates. So I've been doing some polishing. First time using a polishing wheel. I've been working on this one. I feel I got to go over it a few more places. I'm just getting the hang of using a polishing wheel, but this is what I've done so far. So it's not 100%, but it's a lot better than it was. We had all the black dots and stuff on here. This is one side of the casing. I'm going to show you guys what the other side looks like. So this side hasn't been done. I'm not sure if you guys can see, but you can see how dull the aluminium is. I can actually see myself in this. Couldn't see myself in this. So I just need to take these back apart again, and then I'm going to polish this one, and I'll probably go over this one a little bit more. Hopefully I'll get them exactly how I want them. Also I've painted those engine top end parts, so they're drying. Also the kick lever had been painted in the past, so I stripped all the paint back and I etch primed it, and I've also given it 2 coats of silver paint as well, so that should be looking nice once that's dry as well. So I'm going to go back onto this and polish this one now. Right, also guys, this is the seat, which you guys can see is quite rusty. I looked at the springs and it's not actually that bad. There's a lot of surface rust. There's a bit more rust on this frame part, which I can easily use my sander to clean up and then probably etch, prime and paint. I think it was black at some point, but what I'm going to do is I realized all the springs can actually come off. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take all the springs off, all the bits that can come off, and I'm going to soak them in some vinegar as well, and then you take the rest of the frame and I'm going to basically sand all the rust off and then sort of just etch, prime it and then paint it black. So I'm going to work on that now. So I'm also filming this so I can remember how to put it back together. So springs should just come off like that. All these bits, then these little bits come off. So just for my reference, the longer ones go in the middle and the shorter ones go on the outside, and this one is going to be the longer ones down here, longer ones here, longer ones here, and the short ones down here. So we got 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. So yeah, just want to make sure I get this back right. So I'm going to drop these in my solution, my vinegar solution, and I'm going to let them soak overnight, and by tomorrow I'll clean them, wash them down, and I reckon they'll probably be good. What I might even give them a spray of is some rust converter. I've got some rust converter that I can just give them a coat of spray with. It's sort of clear, it's a clear spray, and it sort of turns any rust sort of purple, and it's supposed to stop the rust from sort of coming back or spreading, so to speak. So maybe I'll spray these springs with that once I clean off all the rust on them. But I mean, the springs themselves, they feel good. As I said, it looks like just really surface rust on these, so the springs themselves should be fine. Alright, so got a couple of these parts here. So this is the kickstart lever, or whatever you call it, which I stripped back and edge primed, and then I also give it a couple of coats of high temperature silver paint. So that's looking really nice. Also, here's the top part of the engine here, which I painted black, which has also come out all right. So that's done. And then here is the cylinder head, which has come out really good as well. So we can take this tape off now actually. So the top part of the engine is pretty much done. The carbs is done, and then these heads are done. Just need to get the gaskets now, and then basically we're waiting for the bottom end of the engine, or the lower part of the engine, to be done, and then that's the engine ready to go. And this is all dry, like properly. I'll clean up these bits here with some Scotch-Brite. But yeah guys, this is it. So it's looking good. It's nice and clean inside there. Here's our inlet valve for fuel, and here's our exhaust valve. And I made sure I give it loads of coat so I get the paint right down inside there, just to protect it. As I said, it was really dirty, and you know, it was rusting and stuff like that. So really happy how this has turned out. Set this aside. Also, I put the seat bits in some vinegar as well. I stripped as much of it as I could with the grinder, and then I put it in some big basin of vinegar, because I've got loads of it. I'd ordered loads of it, so I might as well use it. And then I'll let that soak for a day, and then I'll probably give it all a rub down with some sandpaper, and then I'll be painting that as well. So that might be shown in the next video. Now I'm just sitting and waiting for the pullers to come for the engine, and then we can move on to that. Alright guys, so I'm back. This is a couple days later, and I've got some tools. So I've got this little puller, which I'm going to use to pull off this sprocket, and I also got this kit of pullers as well, which are to remove this generator. Now it's a good thing, I was trying to find out online what the size of this bolt was, and it's a good thing I didn't go for what I thought it was, and I just bought a set, because it was, I think, one size down from what I thought it might have been. So because I've already checked this, and I found, just to make sure that this actually fitted, so we've got the right size in here, and yeah, we're going to try and get this off now. I'm going to show you these tools. So this one here first, if anybody hasn't seen or doesn't know how this works. So this is called a puller. what are you've got these sort of two claw things here, and they sort of hook underneath the sprocket here, and then this pin in the middle sits on the center shaft that the sprocket is sitting on. And then as you tighten this and pull it down, you'll press against that shaft and simultaneously sort of pull itself away by these claws, and it'll sort of pull out. It makes sense when I'm doing it, but that's basically how it works. And then this one is all very similar as well. Right, so we can see we've got this is the part we need to hook in behind two of these. So what we do is we get these to hook in, try and get them as central as possible and as far in as we can. So I need to wind this up a bit, and also you can slide this over a bit to get it as central as you can possibly. So now that I've got it on, I will need to use a socket or spanner to turn this, try and get it off. So it can be a bit awkward with this type to get it on straight. Try and get it on as central as possible. There we go, I think that's it. Right, this looks like about maybe a 10 or 12 mil. So what I'm going to do is gently turn this. That worked. It was under a lot of strain. Sorry. So yeah, that came off nice, no damage. Sprocket doesn't actually look bad. But now that I've got the sprocket off, I'm going to see if there's some generic size maybe. It's probably going to be hard to find OEM on this, because it'd be nice to just change the sprocket at the same time while we're here. So we got the sprocket off. And also there's a rubber seal here, which will get replaced. There's this seal here that I mentioned earlier. There's one here, there's one here. See if we can get this seal out. So I want to change all these rubber seals as well. There you go. We can see the bearings in here. The bearings look really good. Everything's so clean. The oil was so clean in here anyway. So here's the seal. 28 internal, 38 external, 7 mil thick. So if anybody wants to know what the size of that seal is underneath the front sprocket, so I'll get that ordered. Now the next pulley is a lot easier to do. Bear in mind this has got magnets under it, so this thing is being held back by a magnet. This is the size, and I did check it earlier and it did fit, and the threads were correct as well. This one's got this one that screws into the inside of it, and then it's got an external thread here. So what we do is we screw when we screw the external thread in, I'll just show you actually. This is M19 by 1 for anyone who wants to know what size. It's going to thread itself to this, so this will attach itself to this, and then when we screw this one through the middle, this pin is going to go into the center of that middle part, and it's going to cause, as you screw it down, it's going to cause this to pull up. So if we screw this one in by hand like that, right down, then we screw this one, and I'll just keep screwing this one down until it hits the bottom, and then we'll start tightening it and it should pull this off. And this is an 18mm. And it's already coming off. There you go. We got it off, and then you just pull this out, and that is it. This looks good, so we'll give that a nice clean as well at some point. Right, so we're almost there. So I think the only thing I need to get off now is this, which is just some flathead screws, and then we should be able to split this case, and then we can see what's inside of this engine. Right, there we go. And these wires being cut as well at some point. I don't know if they're going to be long enough to go where they need to go, so it may end up rewiring this, some new wires and stuff. It seems like the two wires, the red and the black, they just are soldered together onto here, I think it looks like. Or are they? Or maybe not. One soldered here to the one side of this coil, and the other side is soldered into here, which is also soldered to the side of this coil. So the red one's on this side, the black one's on that side. Then there's another small wire that's soldered from between here and links it to this side. That's what it looks like. And it's just one contact. Now, I've never worked on one of these before, so someone might be able to point me to what I could be looking at. Maybe how to test this thing, if it's working. Is a certain resistance it's supposed to be. I'm not sure. There's a little kind of a brush here, which I guess brushes past this maybe. It looks like it's a little bit worn out. It seems like it's made of some sort of fiber. So I don't know if that's how it should be, or if this little piece of fiber should come off and be replaced. I don't know. So yeah, looking for you old schoolers who've got more knowledge on that, and let me know what you think about the state of this, or what I should be looking for to make sure it's okay. Right, so we've got another seal under here now, and this seal has got a lot of markings on it. It's also, I can't really see, actually it has the size on it, this one. 15/24/5. This one actually has the size on it. Great, so we'll be able to change that seal as well quite easily. Right, so let's try and see if we can open this up. I think we got 1, 2 bolts here, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, I'm guessing. So I'm going to take these ones apart. This engine is so small and cute, and so amazing that you can just work on it on a little table like this. Perfect for learning more about engines. It's the first engine that I can remember opening up to this level, like splitting. I don't think I've ever done this. Although I feel like when I was young, I used to have a 125 Aprilia RS 125, and I feel like I tried to rebuild the engine and I just never got finished. So I feel like I split it, but I didn't know enough about that stuff at the time, so I really can't remember. So long ago, I really can't remember what the outcome of that bike was, or what I even did with it, you know. Yeah, I'm really interested to see what this is like inside. I mean, from what I've seen of the rest of the engine, I'll be pretty sure that everything mechanically is nice inside. But I just want to understand how the gears work and, you know, all that sort of thing. So this is all my learning curve. I think that is the last one. Let's see if we can get this thing split open now. Does look like some welding has been done on this at some point. Maybe the crankcase is probably cracked from where it's hanging. It looks like definitely some welds have been done around here at some point. So guys, I had to split this video up into two parts because it gets a bit long from here. I really struggled to get this case opened, and you'll see why in the next video and how I finally figured it out. So hope you guys enjoyed this video, and watch out for the next video, part 2 of this episode. And yeah, we'll catch up then. I'll see you soon. Thanks for watching.